Imagine, if you will, a world where money wasn't a source of stress, but a tool for good. What if the key to financial peace and abundance has been right in front of us all along? Today we journey into the heart of an ancient text, seeking wisdom for modern times. We're diving deep into the Bible to answer a question that has puzzled humanity for centuries. What did the Bible really say about money? For many, the Bible might seem like an unlikely place to seek financial advice, but within its pages lie timeless principles that can transform our relationship with money. It's not about prosperity gospel promises, but about understanding wealth and poverty, giving and receiving through a different lens. So, whether you're a devout believer or simply curious about ancient wisdom, join me as we unlock the Bible's secrets about money and discover a path toward financial peace, generosity, and spiritual fulfillment. Now, the Bible doesn't condemn money itself. It recognizes money as a tool, a means of exchange in this world. But it cautions us against something far more insidious, the love of money. The Apostle Paul, writing to his young protege Timothy, put it plainly, "For the love of money is a root of all kinds of evil." 1 Timothy 6:10. Notice, he doesn't say money is evil, but the love of it. When we allow money to become our primary focus, our heart's desire, it can lead us down a dangerous path. Greed, envy, dishonesty. These are just a few of the evils that can take root when money becomes our idol. Think about it. How many lives have been destroyed by the relentless pursuit of wealth? How many relationships shattered on the altar of greed? The Bible warns us against this very trap, urging us to examine our hearts and ensure that our love for money doesn't eclipse our love for God and for our fellow human beings. It's a powerful reminder, even today, that true wealth isn't measured in possessions, but in our relationships, our values, and our connection to something greater than ourselves. Now, some believe that the Bible teaches us to hoard our wealth, to be suspicious of those in need. But that's a fundamental misreading of its message. The Bible encourages us to be generous with what we have, to open our hands and our hearts to those less fortunate. It reminds us that true joy comes not from accumulating wealth, but from sharing it with others. In his second letter to the Corinthians, the Apostle Paul writes, "Each of you should give what you have decided in your heart to give, not reluctantly or under compulsion, for God loves a cheerful giver." 2 Corinthians 9:7. This isn't about giving out of guilt or obligation. It's about recognizing that everything we have is a gift from God and sharing those gifts with a joyful heart. When we give generously, we not only bless others, but we also open ourselves to blessings in return. We experience the profound joy that comes from making a difference in the world, from easing someone's burden, from reflecting God's love in a tangible way. This spirit of generosity, this commitment to sharing what we have, is a cornerstone of the Bible's teachings on money. Chapter 3. In a world obsessed with more, with bigger, with better, the Bible offers a radical alternative: contentment. It teaches us to find satisfaction not in what we possess, but in who we are in relation to God and to our fellow human beings. The Apostle Paul, writing from prison, shared this powerful insight. "I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through him who gives me strength." Philippians 4:11-13. Think about that for a moment. Paul, facing hardship and uncertainty, found contentment not in his circumstances, but in his faith, in his connection to something larger than himself. He understood that true peace comes not from accumulating possessions, but from cultivating a heart of gratitude for what we already have. This doesn't mean we shouldn't strive for improvement, for growth. It simply means that our happiness, our sense of fulfillment, shouldn't be contingent upon external factors. True contentment comes from within, from aligning our hearts with God's purpose for our lives. Chapter 4. In Proverbs we find this timeless wisdom. The rich rule over the poor, and the borrower is slave to the lender. Proverbs 22:7. Now, this isn't to say that all debt is bad. Sometimes it's a necessary tool for building a business or purchasing a home. But the Bible cautions us against becoming enslaved to debt, against allowing it to control our lives. When we accumulate debt we can't repay, we surrender our freedom, our ability to make choices that align with our values. We become beholden to our creditors, living in a constant state of financial stress and anxiety. The Bible encourages us to be wise stewards of our resources, to live within our means, and to avoid the trap of unnecessary debt. It's about finding freedom and peace of mind by living within our means. It's a call to take ownership of our finances, to make responsible choices that lead to long-term stability and flourishing. Chapter 5. One of the most powerful metaphors for our relationship with money comes from the parable of the talents. In Matthew 25:14-30, Jesus tells the story of a master who entrusts his servants with different amounts of money, or talents. To one he gave 5 talents, to another 2, to another 1, to each according to his ability. Upon his return, the master called his servants to account. The servants who had invested their talents wisely and multiplied them were praised and rewarded. But the servant who had buried his talent out of fear was condemned for his lack of faith and action. This parable teaches us that we are merely stewards of God's blessings, entrusted with resources to manage wisely and multiply. It's not enough to simply hoard what we have. We're called to invest it wisely, to use it to make a difference in the world. This could mean supporting our families, investing in our communities, or giving generously to those in need. The key is to recognize that everything we have ultimately belongs to God, and we are accountable to Him for how we use it. So, as we conclude our exploration of the Bible's teachings on money, I invite you to reflect on these timeless principles. How can you apply them to your own life, to your own financial journey? If you found this exploration insightful, please share your thoughts in the comments below. Let's continue this conversation, this journey toward financial wisdom and spiritual fulfillment together.